Hydrated ionic compounds are basically ionic compounds that have water. Okay, and we talked about ionic compounds as ionic compounds are going to have a metal and a non-metal. Okay, now with this hydrated compounds, right, we have prefixes. So these are standard prefixes that you probably seen before for the most part. Hemi might be a new one. That's meaning half. Mono is one. Di two. Tri three. Tetra four. Penta five, and etc. Okay. Now let's talk about just showing you guys a different example as how water actually makes a huge impact on a compound, even for properties wise and color wise too, as we can see here. All right, so as we look at cobalt chloride, we can see, right, we got two different examples. We got one with water, and we can see the hydrated compound that is this red type of color. The one without water is this more purple color. Okay, now for instance, right, this will be a cobalt chloride, and then right we have to make sure that we say how many waters I have. So in this case, this is a hexahydrate. Okay, because this is letting me know, right, I have 6 water molecules. I got two other examples here. So this one here is copper, right? And then guess what this is? This is that polyatomic ion that I mentioned before. So SO4 means that this is a sulfate, right? It has more oxygen. So that ATE is key, right? It's not the sulfites. So this is copper sulfate. And then we have five waters. So pentahydrate. Now notice, right, this is a transition metal. So thinking back to transition metals, this is a type 2. Sulfate, if you remember, sulfate has that -2 charge. So our copper, in order to balance those out, right, because it's a neutral compound, copper must be a +2. +2, -2, 0 overall, right? So this is our neutral compound. So this is how we get copper, cation, 2, because that's the charge of my copper, sulfate, because that's my SO4 there. And then I got 5 waters, so that's pentahydrate. Let's look at the second example. Calcium. So this is our cation, right? So it's going to go first. So calcium here. Then we got SO4. We just talked about that one. That's sulfate. Okay, so we got calcium sulfate. And then, right, I got 0.5 waters. 0.5 waters means that I got a hemi, right? I got a hemi. So I got a hemihydrate. Okay, so this is letting me know that this is a hydrated ionic compound. Now, let's remember this too. Calcium, once again, is a main group element. So this is the reason why we do not see a Roman numeral here. It's not a transition metal. So there's no need to include a Roman numeral. Okay, so you don't use those. You only use them with transition metals. Only with transition metals, just as a reminder.